Need some fast, cheap, reliable MUT coins? Go to MMOXP.com and use discount code MONEYSHOT for 5% off your order. Link in the description below. Welcome back, YouTubers and Madden fans. This is MADDENMONEYSHOT, sniffing at the Madden cheese as always. Got another MUT video for you today. I'm going to go over a tip on how to basically complete some of these defensive challenges as far as the Turkey Bowl goes, because I know there's a few people in my comments that are having trouble with these defensive challenges. So in this particular one, it says to force an interception on the first play. It also has the option to get an interception or a fumble throughout this drive. So I'm going to show you how to do both. I'm going to start off with the fumble. I've put out videos on how to do both of these, but I'm going to do it again because this is going to be a much quicker version if you didn't catch those videos. Bottom line is you definitely want to set your strip ball mechanic and your tackling mechanic to aggressive, and then you're going to try to force a fumble on the quarterback. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick one of my favorite plays. I didn't get it real quick. I had to pick a play quickly because just to set those coaching adjustments set me back a little bit on time. But you're going to see how pretty much just any hit on the quarterback in this situation is going to create a fumble. I didn't pick it up, but that's fine. I mean, you can see how just setting those adjustments to aggressive are going to have a really good effect. So we're going to start over on the challenge, and then I'll get a second chance to actually show you what the play was. But you should know the play. It's out of the 3-4 odd. It's been a favorite play on in the community this year. You can see my every time I start over the challenge, I still have aggressive on strip ball and tackling, so I don't have to reset that. But ultimately, the 3-4 odd pinch buck 0 is going to be the play. This is pretty much the go-to play against the computer. I don't really use it against users online too much, but against the computer, it's the best way to go. So then after that, all I'm going to do is blitz all. I'm going to press, and that's going to be the play. So I have 7 guys blitzing here. I'm going to use her off the edge. I'm going to hit stick the quarterback, and then I'm pretty much going to get a fumble just about every time. So you can see the other blitzer is right there to pick the ball up, complete the challenge, at least as far as that star goes. So now you should know how to end just about any challenge that requires a fumble. You should be able to get it relatively simply just by using those steps. But on this particular play, the idea is you have to get an interception. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to pick the load block right out of the special teams formation. So once we pick the load block right, all we have to do after that is wait for the play to start, hit our audible adjustment, select over to punt safe. Now this is going to basically force the computer into a situation where they've already audible into a throw. Now the play that they typically do a lot of times was they would throw it to the outside receiver. They're kind of going like a 4 verticals look, but in this particular challenge I noticed that it consistently did the play that you just saw. A lot of times you'll get the animation where they just throw it up to the outside receiver like I was saying. But I'm going to show you a couple different times here just to show consistency. Basically what they're going to do is they're going to run a play where the outside receivers are streaking, and then the receiver to the open side of the field is going to run a little 10-yard out. Now you can see on that play, like I said, he was on the open side of the field. On the previous play, they were on the other hash mark, and once again they threw it to the open side of the field. That is pretty much the only receiver that's going to get open on this play. So here we go once again. They're on the right side of the field. They switch to an audible. The slot receiver on the open side of the field is going to be the guy. So here you can see I get over there. I cut it off this time, and this time they throw it deep. I didn't quite make the user, but you can see how it's going to cut off that route and force it to the deep throw. It's going to do one of two things. It's either going to force it to that deep throw, which is fine. That gives me an opportunity to pick it off, or I can jump it and user it under the slot receiver. So now that we know this, here we go. I'm just going to go over there, going to get in position, and I'm going to undercut it. So it's that simple. Open side of the field, slot receiver. We're getting a pick 6. Not that the pick 6 portion matters. But I still have to run 3 plays. I still have to kick a field goal, do a kickoff because it's a 3-play challenge. But you can see how easy it is to basically know exactly what the computer's doing. And like I said, that trick that I showed as far as switching over, a lot of people know that. It's been around since last year. I made a video about it last year. I also made a video about it this year a couple months back. But it's basically a glitch that, you can get a lot of interceptions no matter what the challenge. A lot of the stuff I'm going to show you here doesn't have to be used just in the Turkey Bowl. You can use it in any solo challenge, solo battles. It's going to have the same success. It's just based off of playing the computer in MUT. So now that we beat all the challenges, I'm going to show you guys, who I picked in the Turkey Bowl pack, as well as who I think you guys should pick, because ultimately who I pick isn't necessarily who I would recommend. To me, when I look at these cards, I think it's really based off of who you are and what your team needs are. I try to look for an angle that I can either sell a card that I already have, or basically break down a power up that I already have, something of that nature. So because like I said, a lot of these guys aren't necessarily upgrades on my team, especially not in the areas that I think are the most important. Before I get to that though, I just want to let you guys know that if you do plan on buying coins at my sponsor site MMOXP.com, make sure to do that before the promos drop. You'll get a better price, you'll get the coins quicker. It's the best way to go. So if you plan on buying coins at any time, make sure you do it before the promos drop. Make sure you do it before the holidays. The Black Friday promo will probably be the Blitz promo, just like it's been the past couple years. So go to the site now, buy the coins now, use my discount code MONEYSHOT, save 5% off. It's the best way to go. Now, Tom Brady, if you don't need a mobile quarterback, me personally, I want a mobile quarterback. I don't think Tom Brady's really that bad, but if you look at his throwing power, it's not that great compared to Vic's. His accuracies aren't that much better. I don't think he's the way to go. Now, Odell Beckham, I absolutely love Odell Beckham. If you're in a position where you need a receiver, which you can see that I do not, receivers are one of the most important positions to me in this game. I'm a passing player. I definitely put a lot of stock into my receivers. Torrey Holt, Randy Moss, who I got in the Mutt 10, so I really can't do anything with him. He's kind of locked into my roster. And then Tyreek Hill, who I actually just purchased his last card. So I don't need receivers. I have speed everywhere. Obviously, Torrey Holt's going to be there all year. So I really... To me, Odell Beckham's one of the best ones. If you don't have a third receiver, say, or a second receiver, I would fully recommend getting Odell Beckham, because when I had him earlier in the year, I took him in a different channel, in a different solo, a different pack that was in that, and he caught everything. It was the 89 overall superstar, I think. He caught every ball I threw his way, ridiculous catches that shouldn't have been caught, so I fully recommend him. Now, Ertz is okay. You can see my tight end is a little bit based more on speed. I don't really care for Ertz. I'm an Eagles fan. I don't care for Ertz in this game. To me, if you're a passing player, Evan Ingram is a must, and if you're a running player, Delaney Walker is a must because of his outrageous run blocking. Speaking of run blocking, I think Quentin Nelson might be the best card on here because of his strength. But I don't really think that, I don't put a lot of stock in my offensive line. It just is what it is. I'm not a huge fan when it comes to doing that. Nothing about picking offensive lines excites me, but I'm probably he's one of the most expensive cards, if I had to guess, because linemen are usually pretty expensive. So my recommendation would totally be to take Quentin Nelson if that's your game plan, if you're a running player. Defensive end, Bose is good. He's not necessarily better than what I have. I mean, I have Aaron Donald. He's all worked up. I'm going to hang on to him. My other spot is Julius Peppers. He's worked up to a 90. So, once again, I don't really think that he's a huge addition or a huge upgrade. Speed's important to me in those two spots as well. As you can see, I mean, my defensive ends are a little bit faster, especially Peppers. Going to the defensive line, or the linebackers, Kerrigan is a huge upgrade over what I have. There's not really any left outside linebacker that I like in this game, because once again, speed is really important to me. I actually have Devin Bush, who's an inside linebacker, starting as an outside linebacker. But once again, speed is important to me, and Kerrigan doesn't have it. He's in the 70s. That's not going to cut it. I need edge rushers that are fast, and I need guys that can cover in space. His zone coverage is too weak. I play a lot of zone. I play a lot of man. He's got a 50-60 zone, which is, he's a good edge rusher, and I would be happy to have him. Don't get me wrong, but he just doesn't fit what I like to do. Then we got AJ Boye. I had his teammate not too long ago, Jalen Ramsey, no longer his teammate, but I had him. I didn't care for him. I got rid of him. My cornerbacks, once again, I put a lot of stock into my corners, and I put a lot of stock into my receivers, and you can see they're all pretty deep. They're all fast, which he doesn't necessarily have enough of, so I worry about him getting beat. And then last but not least, I love Adrian Amos. I love that he's got a 91 speed, a 90 zone, which most safeties are playing zones. Once again, Patrick Tillman kind of screws everything over as far as these positions go, because you kind of get a 95 overall, who will probably get some upgrades soon, but you get a 95 overall safety for free. So it really devalues pretty much every strong safety in the game. With that being said, though, there are a lot of 3 safety defenses, and ultimately I'm going to go with Adrian Amos because of the speed, because of the fact that I only have 2 safeties on my roster. That's who I ended up going with. But if I was to take a look at all these all these positions, and say, who are the ones that I think are the best, I really think Odell Beckham. Having played with Odell Beckham in the past, if I actually needed a receiver, and if I felt comfortable getting rid of Tyreek Hill, who I just worked out. I mean, it's hard to get rid of a 95 speed player. You know what I mean? I just can't. The speed of him, you can't get rid of him. I can't get rid of Randy Moss because, like I said, I have a Nat card pumping him up to a 93, so there's no value there. I think it's a $65,000 quick sell, and that's it. And then obviously Torrey Holt's always going to be there. The second best player to me, without a doubt, is Quentin Nelson, and he could easily be the first. If you're a run-heavy player, this could be the first. Like I said, I'm a pass-heavy player, so to me, definitely I like Odell Beckham. But if you're a runner, I mean, this guy he's got good run blocking. That's one of his strengths, but the 95 strength is really where it's at. And then I would say the third best player to me is Adrian Amos. And that really, like I said, the only thing that really takes him down, because, I mean, you love that range, 91 speed, he's got great acceleration, all that, zone coverage, it's all there. It's just the fact that he plays a position where Patrick Tillman is blocking. And truthfully, Patrick Tillman doesn't really make a lot of plays, for me anyway. Let me know in the comment section if he does for you. But to me, he's not really a big playmaker. So, like I said, to me, those are my top three. The rest are all pretty close. I would say Tom Brady's probably the one I like the least. Maybe Zach Ertz is the second one, the one I like the second least. Those are the guys that I'd say probably to stay away from, unless you don't have positions, or, you know, I mean, Tom Brady probably has some great X factors and whatnot, but other than that, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of a non-mobile quarterback like that. I think it's a 55 speed, which is kind of like a lineman speed. So to me, I'd stay away from those two guys. The rest are, you know, based off of position or based off of need. If you run a 3-4, Kerrigan's pretty good. I really didn't endorse him enough. I like him as a player, and then obviously, you know, Joey Bosa is kind of in the same boat if you run a 4-3. So that's it. That's the vid. If you guys want to see more videos like this, do me a favor, hit the like button. I'll do that next. Other than that, thanks for watching, man. My shit out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.